Okay, this is going to be a quick rehousing of my B albiceps, albiceps sling, and my G rosea sling. I'm doing the G rosea because somebody was talking about getting a G rosea sling, and I was trying to explain how slowly they actually grow. So I'm going to do this one first so you can see how tiny she is. I looked it up. I believe I got this one as a freebie about 2.5 years ago, and she's done little to no growing in that time. Actually, she's finally to a point where she's put on some size. There she is. You see her there? You know how to zoom in. Rowan's on the camera today. And if you just tap on it, there we go. So as you can see, still very tiny, probably just a hair over an inch now, but the first 1.5 years I got her, I swear to God, she barely grew at all. She's molted probably about 4 times in my care in that amount of time. Eats occasionally, which is nice. It's always an adventure when she actually eats. Just gonna go ahead and pluck this out. Now let it go. I'm going to reuse this in here. Now she won't use a hide. She'll pretty much just dig all this up, but I'll go ahead and give her a starter burrow in here. And we're just going to do the old poke and pray on this one. I'm going to try to get her up out of this enclosure. There we go. I'm not going to use the cup for this one. There she is. You see her? You can take the thing off. There you go. And I'm going to go ahead and just get her right back in here. And she's in. Perfect. So that's my G rosea. These guys are hardy as all get out. She went through a whole winter where she basically just created a big mound of dirt and hung out on the top of the dirt. I did moisten a corner for her. One of the tricks I've been using for my slings now is when I pack the sling enclosures, I will put the first level of it. So say there's 3 inches of substrate in the sling enclosure. I will pack in approximately 1 inch of moist substrate on the bottom of the enclosure and then pack the dry stuff on top. So what this enables them to do is if they like it dry, they can stay right on top, or if they want some more humidity, like in the wintertime, what I've noticed is they'll dig and burrow down to the humid part. And what I'll do to keep it humid is I basically make little trenches using the back of the paintbrush. So I'll take the back of the paintbrush here and I'll stick it down the side, make some trenches down the side. Then I pour the water down so it only goes into the bottom layers. And I found this worked very well with my Fauna Annex, who was sitting on top of its substrate for quite some time and not really eating, not doing much of anything, looked very, very uncomfortable and not settled in. And I was a little worried about it, wasn't using its water dish. So what I did was I put the trenches down, filled the bottom, put some water in the bottom. The next day I came back and it burrowed all the way down the bottom and hung out there. So that seemed to be the trick for it. It did want some more humidity, and this gave it a choice of where to hang out. It didn't want to be up top where it was arid or the bottom where it was humid. So next one's going to be my B albiceps. This one's a little bit skittish. I love the species. This is one I picked up as, I think it was about a 3/4 inch sling. We'll do the old poke and pray for this one too. We'll see how it goes. But this one's been doesn't kick hairs. I'll go ahead and put the light on here. It doesn't kick hairs, but it has been pretty secretive. If you notice, it's all kind of curled up. So I don't even know if I'll be able to get her to move. Oh, love this thing. But compared to this, the G rosea, this one grows quite a bit faster. But this one started off probably about a 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch. I'll have to double check and see how big it was when I got it. And now it's probably about 2 inches or so solid. So, well, just hold on there for a second. I'm going to go grab a spoon. Make this easy. Or if you tap on the fish, you can zoom on it. This one, come on. And what I'm going to do is just carefully get this one out. Make sure I don't get a leg in there. There we go. Oh yeah. And again, not mean or skittish or anything at all, just very, very, this is pretty much how she always acts. Like if I open the top of the enclosure, she immediately curls her legs up over herself, tries to hide. Doesn't usually run around or anything. When I drop prey in, she is a really good eater. That's been something that's been quite nice and surprising because I wasn't sure about this species. I'll grab the thing from, oh, good. And there she is. Whoop. The albiceps. Now, if you notice, this is mostly, the bottom of the substrate is a little bit moister than the top. I put the sphagnum moss in there for something to kind of as a decoration, and it allows them to kind of hide underneath it. I noticed when I had some in her little enclosure here, which I pulled out right before I started filming, she was using that to hide behind. So there she is. Again, these guys kept mostly dry. I do, for the slings, moisten the lower levels to give them kind of a choice. For this girl, she's A grade. I believe I was feeding her twice a week as a sling. She's down to about once a week now. The G rosea, on the other hand, I will feed whenever, I'll try to feed her once a week. She'll eat maybe once or twice a month. It depends. She's been pretty good lately. So 2 awesome spiders. I know these aren't the most thrilling species in the world. A lot of times the Brachypelma species and the Grammosolis species get ignored. I wish they wouldn't, because they really are amazing animals. And the nice thing is, because of that slow growth rate, you're going to have a pet that's going to be with you for probably several decades. So one last look. Of course, she's all hidden there. The albiceps, and then little spider girl here trying to climb on the top. I'm assuming a girl, G. Porteri. Yep.
2 spiders.